Hello everyone, this is Mira, and this is gonna be the Sagat versus Laura matchup video. So, this matchup, I kind of like it, I kind of hate it. I think Laura can actually excel in it if you play it a certain way. But we'll get into that in the rest of the video. First, I just want to talk about like fireball chaps. Their fireballs are actually kind of somewhat decent against Sagat. So his medium is the one that has projectile anvil in frame 3, but you see it doesn't really go very far. You kind of have to be around this range to get hit, and of course they can Kara it, and that's like pretty quick. But a lot of times, unless you're charging it, even that even traded, but they kind of run into it a lot of times. Sweep is their go-to. Sweep is pretty reliable for them. So at this around this range, they can sweep pretty early or late. I mean, see, it's pretty decent. Low forward is also decent at it, but the range isn't as good. So see, I'm around here. And depending on the spacing or how long you if I hold it a little bit longer, they can get punished for it. And they also can't really do it low forward on block through traps. That he's not blocking. Yeah. So yeah, the only way if you do low forward, but anyone can interrupt low forward in the fireball. So, this matchup, Eli's the one who taught me it, Eli the Curry. He's really good in it, and so he actually recorded some things and wrote down some notes about how he approaches it and how he taught me how to approach the matchup. So, a big key to this matchup is remembering that with meter, and especially her V trigger, Laura can actually keep up with Sagat's tools, his fireballs, and his buttons. And when Laura doesn't have meter, it's a little bit more in Sagat's favor. So rushing him down is actually not the biggest priority. It's actually the opposite, because he really wants you to kind of run into buttons, try to jump, get anti-aired. So he's really designed to punish that exact mentality of just trying to rush him down, because that's what he wants. He wants you to get hit by a bunch of straight hits. So instead, you want to pace your approach slowly and try not to let Sagat goad you into doing unsafe things, while building your resources to gradually be able to overwhelm him in the later stages of the round. So his main focus though is gonna be the fireball game, and there's a couple things you need to keep in mind about Sagat's fireball game. The first one is that you can cleanly duck the high tiger shots, and then so you can duck them. So yeah, you can duck them, and then you can throw your own fireball, because you see he can only have one fireball on the screen, and you're looking at how Laura is gradually inching her way forward just by throwing a fireball. This is what makes her fireball game actually pretty good. So you duck and then immediately throw a fireball, because he has to wait for his fireball to go off screen before he can throw another one. And if you mess with his timing, he might throw a button out instead, and that'll really mess with his timing, and you'll be able to gain space. So that's a really effective way to move forward against Sagat. That high tiger shot's really good, and it's very little recovery. But as you can see, Laura has ways to actually combat this while moving forward, while building meter. It's really, really good. So being patient is really important. So another thing is the low tiger shot. That's his other fireball. and you're able to actually jump that fireball, and it's just like any other fireball matchup like I talked about in the review video. So you're either ducking the high ones or jumping the low ones and gradually moving forward. Yeah. It's there's a couple ranges though that if you try to neutral jump against these fireballs, you can actually kind of like trick you at a higher level. Let's see where that is. But oh, we don't have that. But so he can neutral jump, and he's like at certain ranges, and he can Kara DP to catch you neutral jumping. Try to bait that. So you have to know which spacing the Kara uppercut comes out in. But if he's really looking for that, that's where you can actually gain space. Yeah. So utilizing your own thunderclaps and base movement to counteract his fireball zoning is really key to, and especially to make him really uncomfortable. And eventually you're going to get to a range where he's going to start throwing out pokes. Like stand medium kick is one of his best pokes. But crouch medium punch does really well against it. And you see he's also throwing a heavy kick. These are like the two biggest pokes that he's going to swing with. But crouching medium punch is great because it can whiff punish the crouching medium punch, and it can also duck the stand heavy kick, and also stand medium punch can whiff punish that stand heavy kick. But stand heavy kick is really a button you really want to look for because of how much recovery it is, and you can also sweep goes under it perfectly at this range. And that will give you the advantage to put Sagat into the defensive. So really looking for going into that footsie range, so you play the fireball war, inch your way closer, and then once he's like, oh shit, you're too close, I want to push you away with buttons, that's when you play that footsie game with like crouch medium punch, crouch jab, buffer, and like sweep with punish to get in. And then because once you're in on Sagat, you're at a huge advantage because your normal throws are really scary against him because light bolt pressure is 0 and he only has a 4 frame, and that's really important in this matchup. Just going for nice safe pressure afterwards as well. Normal throws, crouch short, crouch jab. You don't have to go super ham right away. You don't have to, especially like how dangerous throws are, like especially like, and you'll be able to like shimmy him, and you can layer in some command grabs here and there, but I try not to go for as many unless I have like a really big life lead. Yeah. So yeah, stand light kick is also another big tool for him to keep you out. But Laura has her stand light kick. It's really good. So stand light kick buffers, like especially after his stand medium kick, are nice, a safe option to try to poke into him. The hitbox, it clashes really well with his stand light kick, so you can go into EX bolt or light bolt depending on the range. The risk reward is really massively in your favor playing this game. Yeah, that's basically the key to this matchup. Minimizing your risk, because you actually have good reward options. You don't have to play this matchup super aggressive. That's what the Sagat wants. He doesn't want you to play the slow game with him and draw this out, because the more it gets drawn out, the more it starts to favor you because of your V trigger, especially and your meter. Because throwing an EX clap, it's 2 hits. Like, especially if you have 2 bars, so you throw an EX clap and say he has a bar, he'll throw an EX fireball, and you can clash one of the hits and go through with the EX, or you can, yeah, it's really nice. So, alright. So regarding jumping is kind of be pretty dangerous against Sagat, especially because of stand heavy kick. So this is a range that's really dangerous to jump in and is ill-advised. It's a medium risk, high reward option, but a lot of the Sagats are looking for the jumps. Usually, like, especially higher level or like competent Sagats, they're really wanting to play this anti-air game. So stand heavy kick will crush counter you at this range. Jumping at this range cross up can be pretty good. Because Sagat has very slow walk speed, so walking under isn't a really good viable option. And his cross cuts are a little wonky. And it's kind of hard for him to DP and judge at the distance. Sometimes he'll just go like forward. His cross cuts timing is a little off. And it can be kind of difficult for him. So that if you really want to jump, cross up spacing is actually really ideal. So as I was talking about earlier though with if you have a lot of meter, let's throw some fireballs. Okay. Okay. So it's really fast. Oops, I wanted to clash with this. Ay, ay, ay. It's hard to do it auto timed. Cause, there we go. So you're able to, when you have your EX on the screen, I'm playing like fucking Guilty Gear, Jesus. I'm pressing Guilty Gear button, sorry. It's I've been playing a lot of Guilty Gear lately. Yeah, something like that to get you through really easily. You can also do it meterlessly with Light Bolt. The same thing I showed you in like the Ryu video. Using your EX resources to try to bait him into doing, especially wasting his resources, is really good. It's a lot of it is a read. Ooh, there he goes. It's definitely a read, but especially also like using V trigger as a resource just to like calmly move in, because like throwing this level 2 clap is really good. Like, yeah, I timed it a little off, but once you like know the spacing that you can do this in is really important. See, I spent 1 bar to get through, and you get really good Oki, or you can just use the level 2 like clap to just dissipate his EX. So look, I'm not spending any meter, and just to contest with my fireballs now, he has to spend meter just to keep up, or make a huge read with like a jump or a potential like maybe DP something to go through. So playing for V trigger or EX meter is actually not a bad plan. So that's why just playing it slow is gonna be in your favor. Cause most of her things she inches her way up through that. I'm just gonna talk about his B skill and his like tiger knees and the little stuff, like just little things right now. So his tiger knee, especially when he has where is version select? It's been a while. Especially when he has V skill charged. I don't contest his knees. I like to, like, the pushback is a little weird. And I just kind of like to either, especially if it's I B reversal them, depending on the spacing, or I'll just do nothing and take a throw. His throws aren't super dangerous. Like, you can do that, but and then you're out. We're gonna talk about V trigger. V skill 1 is just, I don't know, his better uppercut. You know, self-explanatory. So a lot of Sagats will try to buffer or just try to go into that. Stand medium kick into VT fireball. You can go right through it. You can V shift it as well. So not a bad option. With the V-shift change, I also wanna note that it is much easier to walk forward and try to V-shift his fireballs. So that's not a bad option. EX is going to be the harder one to react to, obviously. Yeah, if you got them reactions, I definitely go for it. Yeah, and so that's not a terrible way to get in, as well as using a half a bar to try to knock him down with V-shift break. And VT2, it's okay. I don't think it's that great, especially if you have a big life lead against him. Oh. So the best really you can get a lot of times is an uppercut, which he is, and quick rise he's only plus the 815. So if he thinks you're gonna back roll and he dashes, he's actually gonna be like -5. And he's only 0 after back roll after heavy DP. So I usually take the guard break. This is not much damage at all. That's only 78 damage, and he used like half of his, or a third of his V trigger. He only gets a couple of these. Like, and the only time it really kind of becomes scary is when he, you have no V meter and you have barely any health left. That's the only time it becomes scary. So, take the guard break. Most of the time, it's not that big a deal. So if he does that 3 times, that's 180 damage. Like that is nothing compared to your V trigger, where you get like 1 straight hit. Oh well, I used the bar, but that's one of my command grabs is 210. That ain't shit. His VT2 is not that scary in my opinion. So yeah. I think that covered it. I'm sorry it was a little bit different. I wanted to try to use Eli's footage because he was so gracious enough to record some stuff for me. And I really appreciate it. So yeah. I wouldn't be too aggressive against the god. Just take it nice and slow. See how he deals with it. A lot of times you can just break a Sagat just by playing the fireball game with him. And a lot of times they'll just start jumping. It's kind of funny. They're like, I hate this. They don't like you playing this back. And just kind of inching your way toward him, because this is so good. Like, honestly, this is so good. Like a grappler that moves toward you while throwing her projectile. Like, it's an anti-zoning tool. It's really, really good. But yeah, that's enough for me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, I'll be there for you. Alright, have a wonderful day. I love you guys.